So then there's other things to keep in mind. It's not all the coach. You're the other part of the equation.
Yes.
So if you are hiring a coach thinking that this coach is going to be the end all be all, it's going to be amazing. They've coached all these other great athletes and now it's your turn. But you don't put in the work and you don't communicate and you don't send the videos. And then you try to blame the coach as in being a bad coach.
Yeah.
You are gravely mistaken.
Yeah, you have to put in the work.
Yep.
You have to have your nutrition right. You have to have your recovery right. You have to be on point at your training sessions. You have to be doing your mobility work and your rehab or prehab. Like all of that stuff you have to be doing. You have to do all of that work in order for their coaching to work for you.
Yeah. This is something we talk about with our Eat for Strength ladies all the time is this honest self-evaluation. If you're pointing the finger at someone else, that if you're saying that you as my coach are making me a bad athlete, you have to remember that you have way more control into your outcome than your coach. And if you aren't doing all the things that you need to do and you're blaming the programming,
Right.
you're wrong. You need to take a step back. And if you can't look at yourself and say, oh, okay, I really could be sleeping more. 5 hours is probably enough. I probably should be stretching. And you know what? I'm under eating every day. Maybe we need to up that and then see where things go.
Yes.
So if you aren't being the 100% athlete, or as Jen Thompson say, the 10% of the 90% or whatever, if you aren't being that extra athlete,
doing that extra 10%,
yeah, then it's likely not the coach. It's likely you are the problem. And that's not to say that there aren't bad coaches. Now there could be a point where you are doing all these things and your recovery is on point. You're doing everything you should. You're eating enough, blah blah blah. And maybe the programming of that coach is just not good for your body. Like however it's structured, your body just can't recover from it. Now, does this mean you need to go find a new coach? No, it means you need to take a step back and say, hey, coach, can we fix something? Because something's going on. I'm not questioning your programming, but my body's just feeling like shit. And a good coach will say, you know what? Let's try this,
Right. Well, because everybody's different. And so
everybody's different.
That is part of the initial process and working with a coach is kind of figuring out the coach figuring you out and what's going to work for you.
Yes.
And so it's, I think it was back when we talked to Kimberly Walford a while ago, and she was telling us that she likes to have a lot of time to work with an athlete before meet prep so that she can figure out how the athlete responds to different things. You can't just like hire a coach for meet prep and think that like just somehow their coaching is going to magically get you, 100 kilos on your total. Like it doesn't work that way. And a lot of it is there's a lot of trial and error involved in it, which is one thing that I would say follow your coach's programming
to a T.
Yes, because there are times where I've been like, I don't know about this, but I'm going to follow it perfectly, because if I go and try to add in my own things or take something out, whatever, I'm not following it to a T. We don't then actually know what worked when it comes to meet day or testing day to figure out like, well, did it work because you added in these other things, or did it not work because you added in these other things, or you took things out? So follow it perfectly, even if you have questions about it. And then once you go through a testing phase or after a meet, then you can reassess it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a relationship. Much like when you find you're in a relationship with someone, you're not all of a sudden like married and everything's great and you've figured out all your problems and you're whatever. You have to work through all these things together.
Yeah.
And if you always think of your coach as trying to like get at you or trying to bring you down and bring down the world, then you're the problem. You need to recognize that you and your coach are a team. And together, you guys are going to get you to your goals.
That makes me sad to think that anyone would think that their coach was like out to get them.
Well, people like to play the victim card. They like to say, well, my coach is just doing this because he or she doesn't want me to be the greatest, because then I'll beat out this person. And really this person complaining is just not doing what they need to do.
So much drama that I just don't understand. Just focus on yourself. Do what you have to do.
Well, there wouldn't be reality TV if that was the case. We wouldn't have Kardashians.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, yeah. So your coach should be one of your biggest assets in your training, and you should feel that way. And if you don't feel that way, you need to figure out, is the problem you or is the problem your coach?
Yes. And I think that could be a different episode. I think this is just finding a coach.
Yeah.
Like, go on USAW or USAPL.com or USPA.com.
USPA.net.
Sorry. Find someone, maybe hopefully in your area. If not, try to find someone who's maybe even 4 or 5 hours from you that maybe once in a while you could go drive to. Reach out to them. Say, hey, I'm looking for a coach. I want to learn more about your coaching style. I want to learn more about how you do things, what your athletes are like. Like, you want to know everything about what you're getting into and see how they respond. See how they respond to questions. See how quickly they respond.
Right.
See how detailed of a response you get. Because depending on how they respond is going to tell you how they're going to be in the future. If they give you really short answers, that's probably what you're going to get. Not saying that that's bad.
Yeah.
But if that's not what you need, if you need very long explanations, you're going to want to find someone else who's going to give you those explanations.